In this video, we're going to be taking a look at multiplying fractions. Now, whenever you multiply fractions, you do not need a common denominator. I do want you to write that down in your notes. When multiplying fractions, you do not need a common denominator. You can just simply multiply the numerator by the numerator and the denominator by the denominator, and then just simplify. So we're going to take a look at the first one. Just follow along with me as I walk you through it. 3/4 times 5/6. First thing we'll do is multiply the 3 times 5. That's going to give me 15. Then we can multiply the 4 times 6. You can see pretty simple here. It's going to give me 24. Okay, now we do want to simplify these fractions, so we can divide both numerator and denominator by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And 24 divided by 3 will give me 8 for 5/8. So 3/4 times 5/6 gives me 5/8. Now we're going to multiply the 5/8 times 1/5. You can just simply follow along as I walk you through this. 5 times 1 gives me 5. Multiply the numerators, then the denominators. 8 times 5 will give me 40. Now what we can do here, we're going to simplify, so we're going to find the greatest common factor of 5 and 40. And what we will do, we will just write the multiples of 5, or the factors of 5, 1 and 5, and then 40, 1 and 40, 2 and 10, then 5 and 8. So we can see 5 is the greatest common factor. So from here, we're going to divide both numerator and denominator by that GCF. 5 divided by 5 will give me 1. 40 divided by 5, will give me 8 for 1/8 for my answer. Now we're going to do this next problem together. This can be a little tricky. I do not mind if you get out your calculator for this problem, as I'm getting out mine. We'll do this problem together and then we'll walk through it. Okay, so write this down in your notes and we will walk through this problem together. So the first thing we will do is multiply 5 times 7, which is 35 times 1, will give me 35. Pretty simple from here. Now we have 10 times 7 is going to give me 70, times 5 is going to give me 35. I apologize, 350. Okay, now we can reduce this problem. Now this can be a little tricky as far as reducing this problem, but we know that 35 can go into 350. Okay, so we're going to divide both of these, numerator and denominator, by 35. So we have 35 divided by 35 will give me 1. 350 divided by 35, and we can do this on our calculator. 350 divided by 35 can give me 10. So we can reduce 35 350ths all the way down to 1/10. So you can see it's pretty simple. The only thing we're doing is just multiplying the numerators and then multiplying the denominators. It can be a little tricky when you have to simplify. Okay, so this next problem together. 5 times 3 is going to give us 15. 6 times 4, then we're going to multiply the denominators, will give us 24. Now we're going to simplify this problem, and the greatest common factor between 15 and 24, we've gone over this a number of times, is going to be 3. So we're going to divide the numerator by 3, and then the denominator by 3. 15 divided by 3 will give me 5. And 24 divided by 3 will give me 8 for 5/8. Now I want you to do this problem all by yourself. When you're finished, you can press play and I have the answers for you. So I want you to pause the video now. Okay, so now that you've completed this problem, let me go over this with you. 1 times 3 is 3, times 1 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12, times 2 is going to give us 24. So you have 3/24. We will reduce this to simplest terms. Both numerator and denominator can be divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 will give me 1. 24 divided by 3 will give me 8 for 1/8. So that should have been the answer to your problem. And I'm going to have you do one more problem all by yourself. And what I want you to do is multiply 3/7 times 2/5. If you can simplify it, that's great. If you cannot, that's okay. So I want you to multiply this problem all by yourself. When you're finished, you can press play and I have the answer for you. So pause the video now. Okay, now that you've completed this problem, let me go over it with you. We have our numerators we're going to multiply. 3 times 2 is going to give us 6. Then we're going to multiply our denominators by each other. 7 times 5 will give me 35 for a grand total of 6/35. So this is how you multiply fractions by fractions. If you have any questions about this concept, please come and see me.